What's up, everyone? How are you doing? Long time no see. I played a game on Lichess that was perfect. Uh, Zero mistakes, zero inaccuracies. Everything was perfect. Almost. I had a 9 cent pawn loss. My opponent is 23, 24. Um, uh, and oops. Everyone's playing passive these days. They just don't want to lose. Um, Kasparov would not play like this. Um, I know this position pretty well, and so it was easy for me to get the grip. Um, this is all very classical, standard stuff so far. Queen c2 and rook d1. I like to do this. Black should play b6. Try to play bishop a6. Some rook c8. Uh, the point of this rook on d1 is, b6, rook c8. He wants c5, but it's a little more difficult. DC and then this rook on d1. The presence is real. But play rook e8, very passive, and I want knight f8 just so knight on f8. They know themes and keys. Especially these days, people study themes and keys. They memorize a lot of positions. They sort of don't calculate too well. That seems to be what's happening. If I had to talk about population in general. So you want bishop f4 already, big threat. Does anyone see? I've spoken about this trap before with the Bosco Abramovich. You are threatening to take on d5. Of course, cd is not possible. Knight b5 is crushing. You're just coming into c7, nothing to be done. So they ed knight b5 anyway. If pawn takes knight, bishop c7 traps a queen. So that's a nasty trick. So bishop f6 doesn't really help. The trap doesn't work anymore because there's a queen e7 escape. But e4, we're just blasting. And now, this is a key move. You should know this move. You can't have everything in chess. Yeah, you give black a d5 square, but so what? Let's say a knight comes on d5. That's all they have. Bishop on c8 is frozen. Rook on a8 is frozen. The knight on d5 is... You play a3, b4, you have all the expansion. So the key is this move. And now, the slithering is when he moves away, right, you play a3 and, you're expanding. If he... let's say he goes knight d5. You can go back bishop g3, you're already threatening tremendous knight e5, knight c4, and both knights on e4, they're jumping into d6, which is a much more important square than the knight on d5. Just doesn't have any help. So this is already so black position very passive, but you still have to win. And bishop d6, and this position is gorgeous. I have all the space in the galaxy, and collect some more space. And now entrez-vous, and it's sort of time to crush your opponent. Yeah, you have all the advantages, positional advantages now, to get tactical d5 and move away. And with a threat of knight f7, the rook is hanging, the bishop is nice, so he can't move away. The b7 is loose, so he sort of just made a blunder, and we hit him with this one. And queen d2 is important just to come queen d6, and there's nothing to be done. And one final shot, and the game is over. So every move was perfect in this game. It kind of like, when you know the plans, it's all very simple. And then chess looks easy, like the Borislav Ivanov game with Campora. was incredible. Like the shuffling and the just so it's pure poetry. If you haven't seen this funny video I made about Borislav, yeah. This game, what else is happening in the world? Yeah. Everyone's setting up these positions. They want their Londons, their Philidors, just chill, you know, maybe hang out. But I don't like to play chess like that at all. I think it's all wrong. I believe if you have white pieces, you should go for the jugular. You should play like Kasparov, Fischer, you know. These guys, they don't mess around with white. Morozevich, these characters, Shirov, right? They take you pillar to post, man. They're trying to whoop your ass, not trying to hang out. The reason why Magnus is so popular. The reason why everybody's doing it is because Magnus does it. So they say they think they're going to win 80 move games against, you know, you're going to hang out and play an endgame like Magnus Carlsen. You don't play the endgame like Magnus Carlsen. Magnus knows he's drawing them into the weeds, and he's going to play 175 good moves. Anyway, that's why everyone's doing it, because Magnus does it. And everyone wants to be like Magnus when they grow up. So I wanted to show you another fascinating game. Not a Magnus game, but everybody covers Magnus. I wanted to show you this awesome game because he's my favorite dude, like my favorite dude for a long time. Yeah, where are you? And this was an amazing game. What was this? Was this the one? I think it was this. Morozevich, Karpov. Was it this one? Yeah, look at this, guys. Can I? Here we go. Yeah, here we are. Check this game out. Benoni. Standard Benoni. You can take with the e-pawn here. This is a favorable line for white. Bishop, rook e8, bishop e3, bishop h6. You catch castle. If he takes on e3 twice, you queen d2, he resigns. The rook goes away and queen h6 wins. So you're supposed to take once and then go knight d7. And then I think white tries to double rooks on the f file. And black sticks a knight on e5. That's all very old traditional stuff. I think the idea in general here is that this knight on g7 doesn't have a lot of squares, right? These light pawns sort of shielded out of the game, and you don't want to be hopping back there. Although there are some lines in Benoni where you let him take here, but so the traditional plan is some rook on f to b1, and you start blasting b4. This is pretty nice stuff here. Queen d2, the shuffling. Yeah, I really like this. Take, and now you should just be plunking pieces on maybe you go rook b8 and a5, rook b1, rook b6. Start taking advantage of this weakness on d6 somehow. Gotta fade away. And now he takes with the bishop. Perhaps he wanted on knight f5 to take on f5, and rook f5. Maybe some rook e1. Rook e1, rook e5 takes on e5. Rook takes e5, queen f4. With some unpleasant knight e4 threats. Unpleasant knight e4 threats to take on d6. Rook, queen takes d6, rook takes c8 with check. Very important. If it's not check, you get mated yourself, right? if it's not check, because rook e1. Queen is on d6, right? Rook e1, king h2, queen takes queen, g3 only, and queen f2. Very unpleasant. But rook c8 is check. So, queen f4. Yeah, I don't know what to... Maybe queen c7, you have to chase the rook away from b8 very, very, very quickly as severe harassment. But I mean, you know, in these kinds of things, you do want some to take away these rook e1 checks. You can simply play queen, king h2. Then you're maybe even threatening knight takes c5, and this rook is hanging out on e5. In any case, position could be a little unpleasant, but he took with a bishop. Probably not as good. I think he's maybe paranoid. The knight on e4 looks so natural. You get queen b2. By the way, like if he's on like f5 and trying to come knight f5, knight d4. Maybe he's worried that, like, if the knight's on d4, bishop g4 could be some extra taxation, like some income tax on the bishop on c8. But in that position, you'd have to be smart not to go queen c3 with the knight on e4 to try to hit the diagonal with knights, because bishop g4, I'm not sure, but he might even be able to kind of take on g4. If your queen's on c3, there could be a knight e2 check. You have to calculate knight e2 check. So put the queen on b2 if you want to put it on the diagonal. It holds the rook on b8, and it avoids this knight e2 business. Just fantasize about these things. He took this way, so let's just see the game. This looks nice. Bishop h3. So this is weird. I mean, it's typical Morozevich, just being a genius. But knight e4 seems to be a problem. Right? Like, what are you doing? Now you gotta go away. So, like, knight d6 just seems to be crushing. Knight d6, and you move somewhere, you just play knight c4, and you have passed pawn. The other is c-pawn's blocked. It's definitely not a good position. So I think bishop h3 was a blunder. Probably position was tough, but he didn't see it. Karpov, no young man. I mean, he's and now Morozevich doing his Morozevich business, and Karpov's not winning anymore. He has a c-pawn compensation. G5. If you're wondering, I mean, he may have been able to get away with c4, but there was a rook a5. And then you have to start calculating king g4, f3 stuff. Maybe it was okay. But, yeah, he's fine now. Like 98 is coming, and rook c6, maybe king g6 hops back and kicks the knight away from f7 that's defending the d pawn. Should be fine. Went this way. Yeah. there are these forks, but c4, and now c3. We should find c3, and it becomes hard to win. You sort of can't dance at two weddings. Because if the h pawn starts to run, you have to go back and collect it, and then c2 happens, and then you go c1, and then if the king gets on f4, like even if the king is on g2, you're gonna play h1, and then you're gonna take on f3. It should be equal, but he kind of blundered here. He didn't, and now he covers the square. Now he doesn't get king f4, and he just gets f4, and now you can't. You know, it goes too fast. You can't go collect the knight. This position, probably not bishop h3, and probably not bishop e4. This position, yeah, knight e4 seems to be much stronger. Let's go to analysis. Knight e4. Knight f5, right? Kind of, we understand that this is what he wants. Now, a5, we love a5, and that bolster, you know, once you plunk this rook on b6, yeah. And knight d4 is not really a thing. Although it looks like the human move. And if you can't go knight d4, where are you putting these pieces exactly? But let's look at this. Just we assume that, yeah, this is just too much taxation. You have to defend this thing directly. A queen e7 it wants. Sorry. Okay, +3. So knight d4 straight blunder. You sort of have to start, but I mean, I will just go here. And rook ff8 because you need extra defense, and I suppose I'm coming in. Yeah. And on with queen b2, this should be really, really nice. But this was a good move, rook ff8, because, you know, it defends against these bishop g4s. And maybe in the end, it isn't so horrible. Queen g3. You have to start playing chess again. But yeah, the position is tough. You even have to start calculating these knight g5s and knight e6s if you get in. But maybe knight g5, perhaps he has a queen h6 and pin this puppy. There could be some counterplay. You have to be careful. All right, candidates' predictions. So it's a ways off, but I've got Wei Yi for the win, and I expect him to beat Gukesh and be world champion. Anybody who makes the, you know, I don't know who's going to win. I like Wei Yi. I think he's reached another level, and I love his chess in general. I just wish he would let his hands fly a little more. He's a monster tactician. Monster tactician. But anybody who gets to the World Championship is favored against Gukesh at this point. If Naka gets through, that would be pretty sick. Naka, I've known him since he was a child. If Naka becomes world champion, I mean, I'll be happy for him. But I somehow don't, you know, his slow chess hasn't been like, you know, it's hard to play slow chess when you play as much blitz as Naka plays, and he's just, you know, the GOAT, the all-time GOAT of online blitz. He would have to stop playing blitz, and I know that he absolutely he adores streaming, and he would have to give all that up to have a chance to win this. I know he's training really hard, but somehow, it's going to be either Wei or Fabiano. I believe one of those two, and then either one of them will beat Gukesh in his form. Yeah. That's about it. All right, folks. We are done for today. Gonna head to the beach. I'll see you next time.